episode of Let's Talk Deer, brought to you by Grandpa Ray Outdoors, owned by Mr. John O'Brien. John's a Midwestern guy. He's around the Madison, Wisconsin area. He's been an agronomist for over 29 years. So he knows seed, he knows soil, and he knows what whitetail deer need. John has a large seed company, Grandpa Ray Outdoors, but also he's in educating. He's one of the best educators, seminar, platform speaker, communicator for soil, water, and cover. The soil brings the food, the water hydrates, and the cover keeps them safe. So that's what whitetail needs. So any questions at all about seed, go to grandparayoutdoors.com. Let's Talk Deer does receive compensation from Grandpa Ray Outdoors for mentioning him on my show. Good morning to another episode of Let's Talk Deer. We're going to central Wisconsin, and we're going to connect with Dana Sacia. And connect, yes, because Dana Sacia owns Hunting4Connections. Dana, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Good morning. Happy Thursday.
Well, it is Thursday, and like I said before, it's my fifth week after my total hip replacement, so I'm excited to be walking around and thinking about getting back in the mountains, that's for sure. Hunting4Connections, how did this all start?
Oh my goodness, that's a loaded question, no pun intended. So Hunting4Connections, well, actually it started about 4 or 5 years ago, and it's what is Hunting4Connections, I guess, is the real question. So it's a couple of things, actually. It started out as a Facebook group, actually. So in 2014, I had been at that point hunting for about 8 or 9 years, I'd say, probably about 8 years. And unfortunately, in 2014, I filed for divorce. And at that time, I had quite a bit of land when I was married. We had about 500 acres, and I was very passionate about hunting. And I knew just because my marriage was ending, I knew that my passion for the outdoors and for hunting wasn't ending. And so I knew I was going to be receiving a piece of that 500 acres. And so at that point, I really kind of had a wake-up call in the fact that I really needed to learn how to start better taking care of the land, because before, my ex-husband basically took care of it and I just hunted on it. And so I knew that I really needed to learn how to take better care of it, how to plant food plots, when do you put up your trail cams? What kind of plots do you plant, and when do you plant them? I needed to learn all this information. And so basically I wanted to start asking a lot of questions, but I was a little intimidated just to go on Facebook and start asking them. So I decided to create a group, and I wanted it to be a unique group, a place that like-minded people could come together. They could really just ask questions. They could maybe swap hunts. They could promote their own hunts. They could, promote their passions, and it just be a place where like-minded people could connect and really just make connections, really. And so I decided to call the Facebook group Hunting4Connections. And so what was really unique about it is that at that time in my life when I created the group, nobody in the Facebook group knew that I was going through a divorce. And so being, a woman-owned hunting group admin, it was a little strange for me at first, and I thought, maybe people wouldn't be very receptive to that. But during that time in my life, everybody was very welcoming and very willing to help answer all my questions, and it just really became just a very unique resource, but not just for me, but for a lot of people. It became an opportunity for people to ask questions, to share their knowledge, but also to start doing some unique things. I started allowing some outfitters to come in and offer discounted hunts. So if a hunt that they had, didn't sell, they were able to come in and offer our members, a discounted hunt or a discount on their lodging or some sort of discount that, most people wouldn't normally have access to. And then we started doing some unique hunting swaps, which was really valuable for me because I obviously, like I mentioned before, I own some land in Wisconsin, but I love to hunt out west. And so I started swapping some hunts with people, and they would come and hunt on my property, and it would allow me to go hunt on other people's property. And then other people started kind of jumping on that bandwagon. And so just a lot of really unique opportunities were coming about. I was getting tons of messages of people just saying, oh, I'm so glad you started this group. It's just been so welcoming, and so many great opportunities, so many connections were being made. There was just so much positivity coming from it. And it was just really starting to grow and to take off. And again, during that time, nobody really ever knew that I was going through such a traumatic time in my life. And so it was just an awesome opportunity for me, because it surrounded me with like-minded people, and I was making new friends, being able to go on some awesome hunts that didn't cost me, hardly anything, because I was swapping my land to hunt with them. And it just was really turning into be something beautiful. And 3.5 years later, we've got just under 30,000 active members in the group, and so it's really turned into something really special.
Yeah, and folks, just go to Hunting4Connections on Facebook and
join the group.
And join the group. I just looked up. I've been a member since 2015. I don't know how. I don't know how. Anyway, somebody must have said I needed to be a member. I've never used it, but
you've been in the group before. I've seen you post a few times.
Have I posted? I don't remember.
It's in the Facebook group. Yeah, it's for hunters or fishermen, and again, it's for people to just post and share their hunting experiences or their big fish that they've caught. But again, it's really just for people that do enjoy hunting and fishing, because that's basically all we talk about in the group. Well,
and folks, for sure, Dana's podcast will be up in a couple of weeks, and I will post it on Hunting4Connections, so you can listen to her and talk about the genesis of Hunting4Connection, and it sounds like that. It happened at a perfect time for you, because you were surrounded by really positive people who, wanted the same thing that you did, wanted to hunt and wanted to have good relationships. So good on you.
Exactly. It was really a blessing for me, because it allowed me to ask questions that I wouldn't have normally asked on Facebook, at that fear of being ridiculed because you didn't know the answer. And no, not to down on women at all, but a lot of us are still learning and growing, hunting and things like that. And so it does make you a little bit more timid to ask certain questions when you're not knowing all of the answers. And so having that group, it was really just a supportive place for anybody to come in there. And there was even men asking questions like any unique type of questions. And it allowed for, people that were maybe traveling or commuting saying, hey, I'm coming to Boise, Idaho, where's some great fishing places, or, where, it just allowed like-minded people to ask these really cool questions and, sport their harvest, or, share recipes, wild game recipes, or, again, swap hunts. We also do, allow some of these people to promote these discounted hunts. And so it just brings a lot of value to the customers. And that's one thing that we're really striving to do now. Our motto in the group is it pays to be a member of Hunting4Connections. And so I try to really partner with some companies that allow us to bring giveaways that are only given away to our members. Like, for instance, we just gave away a weekend getaway we partnered with Redneck Adventures TV, and they gave away a weekend getaway in Mississippi. And so it was just a really great way to give back to our members. And only the people in our group could have an opportunity to win that getaway. And so right now we're partnering with another company called Clark's Creations, and he makes these amazing wood pieces of art. They're just beautiful. If you guys haven't ever checked them out, definitely make sure you look at them. Clark's Creations. But right now we're doing this awesome giveaway, and again, it's just for our members only. And so it's just, we try to do as much as we can to consistently give back to our group and our community, just because we want it to be a positive environment and a positive experience. We don't allow any negative talk or behavior or anything of the outside world really to be part of that community. When I'm talking about personal things or political things, we just keep it strictly hunting and fishing, just so that people who want to just stay in a positive mindset and only want to talk about the things that they're passionate about, they know that that's the place that they can go to do that. And so we don't allow any anything outside of that world really to kind of come in and ruin the positive bubble that we've created. So that's one good thing, because you know that you're surrounded around like-minded people that are, you know, in a positive state of mind as well. So it's just great. You know, we've also partnered with a company called TrueNighted, and they basically have given our members only a travel link, so that anybody, obviously it's not, you know, the best time to travel right now, but anybody that is going to be renting a hotel room or a rental car, we've got a travel link that we can share with any and all of the members, and it gives them up to 55% off of any hotel rooms or rental cars. So we just try to go above and beyond for our members to give them additional value. And yeah, it's just become something really special. And for me, it's rewarding because I'm very passionate about helping others and, you know, just trying to give back to the outdoor community. And so it's just been a really positive experience, and it's really exciting to see that the group has grown so much, and that, you know, people that come into the group typically stay. So it's pretty awesome. I'm really excited, and I'm really proud of it.
This is Bruce Hutchin with a special message about my relationship with Burner.com. Burner HD is a non-lethal pistol that's available now on the web at Burner.com. If you go to the web and use my promo code LTD2020, you're going to get a 10% discount on all Burner product. So again, Let's Talk Deer has a discount, promo code LTD2020 for all Burner product. Go check them out. They're great. Well, it's the timing's really great for me because my grandkids, Logan's 13, so he's the youngest, and he said, Gramps, I want to go to Wyoming, go antelope hunting this year and shoot a doe or fawn deer or antelope. And so I started doing some research, and Wyoming's changed as all Western states have changed, because I haven't hunted up there probably for 10 years, and I'm going, oh, and the ranch I used to hunt has been sold, and the herd got knocked down. So I'm going to get on Hunting4Connections and ask people if they know anybody, you know, that has land or access in Wyoming, that I can take my grandkids and put in for, you know, doe and fawn tags, and just go up and
exactly.
get them shooting. So this is perfect timing for me. So thank you.
Yeah, and I guarantee you'll get all kinds of responses from people in that marketplace that are willing to give you advice and suggestions on it. It's definitely a worthy question, and you will get the answers that you need.
Well, that's great. Now, let's talk about how much does it cost for me to be a member of Hunting4Connections?
So this is a Facebook group, so that it's free. It's completely free to be in this group. There's no fee. All you have to do is you go onto Facebook and you type in Hunting4Connections, and you'll see an orange logo there, and it'll say join. So you just click join, and then there's 2 questions that you have to answer. And then obviously then we'll go in and then we'll approve you. And so then you're in the group, and then again, at that point, you're able to access any of the deals, the discounts, the giveaways, all of those things that are, you know, come with the benefits of being part of this group.
Now, if you're a manufacturer out there and want to have access to 30,000 people that are a pretty tight group, I would say, how would they get a hold of you, Dana?
Yep. So they can contact me at Dana K at hunting4connections.com. So Dana K, just the letter K, at hunting4connections.com. So they can contact me there. They can also call my cell phone, which is 715-299-1313. So either one of those ways, they can reach us either way.
Okay, and so if you're a manufacturer wanting to get exposure to some people, this is a great way to do it. Because all these people are active. I would say they're active. Of the 30,000, 29,000 plus people, are they all pretty active, or?
This is a very active community, and that's what I love best about it, because it's not a community where, you know, if you post something, you know, only one person's going to respond. I mean, this is a very active community, which is great, and that's why I really like it a lot, because you get a lot of perspective and you get a lot of advice and suggestions, and it's nothing negative. I mean, we've had In the 3 years that we've been here, I mean, I think we've probably only had to kick out 3 people out of 30,000 members. And just because, maybe they got a little salty and they didn't agree. But for the most part, everybody is like-minded and they understand that everybody's opinions are going to be a little bit different. But for the most part, the love and the heart and the soul of hunting and fishing is all the same. And so it's a positive environment. So it's active.
Now, are you doing face-to-face meetups in places in the country?
We haven't done that yet, but it's something that we actually considered at the beginning of 2020 to do these types of meetups. But that kind of led us more into the direction of the business that we spun off from the Facebook group Hunting4Connections, which in July of 2019, we launched a new online dating and friending site called Hunting4Connections. It's actually launched and live now. We've been working on it for a couple of years. When we first came up with the idea, Bruce, to create the friending and dating site, we had originally called it Hunting for True Love, and it would have just been for people that were looking for dates or, romance or relationships, marriage, that kind of thing. And after really getting to know the people in Hunting4Connections, the Facebook group, we realized that, there's so many other ways for people to connect and not everybody's looking for love. We kind of learned from that group that people are looking for just friends. They're looking for activity partners, somebody that they can go shoot archery with or they can go fishing with. And maybe they're not looking for love or a relationship. Maybe, they're already in a relationship, but they're just looking for a friend to go on a fishing tournament with, or maybe they're out of town for work and they're looking for a fishing buddy just for a couple of days and nothing, in a inappropriate way. And so we looked at that. We also realized because we started swapping hunts that people might want to swap hunts and it not be anything to do with a relationship, but a way to maybe cut out some outfitter fees if they weren't in a position where they could afford them. We realized that, sometimes it's not just all about love. And so we decided that we wanted to change the name of the dating and friending site. And so, again, because that group was so special to me and there were so many amazing people really there for me at a time when I really needed friendship in a strange way, just because I was going through such a tough time, I really thought, it would be such an honorable and such a great way to give back to that community that gave so much to me. And again, nobody even knew that I was going through such a tough time, which made it even that much more special to me. So I decided that I wanted to give back to that group and name the new dating and friending site after the Facebook group. So we also chose to then name the dating and friending site Hunting4Connections as well. And so what we did is we now allow people to connect 4 different ways on the friending and dating site, which is they can connect through finding a new friend, they can connect through dating, they can connect through looking for a relationship, or they can connect through looking for an activity partner. So, we launched last year, July 17th. So we've been live for about 8 or 9 months now, and it's going well. Our goal is to just consistently try to fill the database. I'm really on a life mission to change people's lives for the better. And for me, it's important personally to promote healthy relationships built strong in the outdoors. I really found my passion late in life. I was in my early 30s when I started hunting, and I'd never hunted growing up. My dad used to hunt. Unfortunately, he passed away at a young age of 48, so I never had an opportunity to hunt with him. And so when I found that hunting was my passion, it just really changed my life on such a level I can't even begin to explain. And, I grew up a city girl. As you know, I grew up in La Crosse, but I married into the country. And it really changed my life for the better. And unfortunately, like I mentioned earlier, I went through a divorce, and I really took what I learned from my divorce and my love for the outdoors and my passion for giving back. And I actually partnered with my 2 sons that went through this, tough time with us. And we really wanted to turn something that was really tough for us, a tough hardship. And we wanted to put a positive spin on it and just created a positive new beginning that would allow us to give back. And that's really how the dating site came about, the idea of it. Just, we really took what we learned. And what we learned is that you really have to have some sort of shared passions and hobbies with your person, and being able to create that friendship first out in the great outdoors is so important. And so that's really what inspired us, was what we took away from the divorce, our passion for the outdoors, and really a desire to want to give back and to help others. And so we put all of that love and grind and hustle into creating this online dating site. We partnered with a fantastic, or we teamed up, I should say, with just this fantastic developer that has been amazing. And so we've created something really special. And so, for anybody that's looking for new friends or looking for, to share your passions and love with a certain person, you can find those guys at hunting4connections.com, and that's online. We also have a Facebook group around that business as well, which is called hunting4connections.com. So there's a difference between the group and the Facebook actual page.
Wow. What a journey.
It's been a heck of a journey. It's been a really a tough journey, but also a blessing in disguise. I'm a really positive person, and I do feel like a lot of positive things can come from negative situations. You just have to dig deep and find what they are. But if you can turn it into something positive, that's just a beautiful outcome. And we're working really hard to try to change people's lives for the better.
Well, folks, based on my listening to Dana, and I had never talked to Dana. We connected probably a few years ago when I had Whitetail Rendezvous, and we just never got her on the show. But she's on the show now due to my good friend Art Helen, and Art said, hey, you ought to get Dana on the show. So, Dana, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you a 13 module course called Deer Hunting Institute Part 1 that I wrote last summer. And
Okay.
I'm going to send it to you, and then however you want to post it, it's free. It's going to be
Awesome.
I have it for sales for $97, but I'm going to give it to you free.
Thank
And then I'll send
you.
that to you after the show. And then however you want to give it away, because I was thinking, well, I could have people send me the email address and do that, but I don't want to do that. It'd be too much. It'd be too much work if 10,000 people did it. I don't want to write 10,000 emails. I really don't. Even though email addresses are extremely valuable, that isn't my modus operandi here. What I want to do is just give back to you, because you got a great story and you got a great heart, and you're a person that had a lot of adversity, but you're coming out on the other side. And just speaking with you this morning, I realize you're somebody that if I can make what you're doing better, then I'm sure as heck going to do it.
That really warms my heart, and that makes me really emotional, actually, and I value that a lot, and I would love to be able to help others with it. So thank you for that so much.
Yeah, so you figure out how you're going to get it to the people. I'm not a techno guy. So, I had it up on a website, Deer Hunting Institute, but that's coming down April. I guess it came down yesterday for the pay window. And I had that on a website. But now that's coming down because I'm not going to support. I'm not going to utilize Kajabi anymore. So, so I'll just give it to you. Do it.
Thank you, Bruce.
Well, what you want.
Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you. And I'm so excited that we reconnected. And you mentioned it earlier. We tried to do this podcast back when I was going through that divorce, and I was just starting the dating site, working on it. So I was really overwhelmed and had a full plate. And I know we had a couple conversations about it. And so I'm just excited that, a couple years later, it finally came together. And it's just unique. This is the beauty of Hunting4Connections, my connection with your good friend Art. And, my good friend Art, we reconnect, and he said, you need to connect with my friend Bruce. And as soon as he said your name, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's such a small world that it's so amazing how connections come together and eventually come together full circle. So I'm grateful for that opportunity to have obviously connected with Art and yourself, and that it all came together today.
Yep. And I'll probably stop and buy you lunch or whatever next fall. I spend about 30 days in the Midwest hunting, and So maybe because I know you're right off 54. I know where you are now.
Yep.
I
Yep.
can remember. I can remember this because you come out of La Crosse, West Salem, and then you go into
Yeah. Yeah.
Black River Falls.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
I know where you are now. I couldn't. I said Melrose, Melrose, Melrose. I just couldn't figure it out, but I figured it out.
Well,
Anyway,
the next time you come up, we'll have to do lunch, and then you'll have to come up. I'll show you my place and show
sure.
you my land. And yeah, if it's in the fall, maybe we can do some hunting together, or if it's in the early spring, we can do some shed
No,
hunting.
it'll be in the fall. It'll be
It'll
in the fall. Yeah, because Black River Falls, I go to Birchwood. Usually I start off with Birchwood, and then I go to Eau Claire. Then I go down to Laval, the Buffalo River. And the family farm, I've been hunting that farm. This will be the 54th year. And
Wow.
so that's the first place I ever killed a whitetail. And so the family has grown significantly. This is a quick story. And so since I killed my first deer there, I stayed in contact with the farmer, and then he passed on, and then his son and everything. And so they had a big family meeting. They said, we've got way too many, we got cousins and nephews. We can't have any outside people, hunting the farm anymore because it's only 400
Sure.
acres, and wood lots probably 250, 300 acres. But so anyway, so one of the cousins, and I wasn't there, one of the cousins said to Eddie, said, well, what about Hutch? And Eddie just looked at him and said, what about him? He said, well, he's not family. He said, what about him? And he just shut the guy down. I had to laugh. Dang. And I talked, Eddie and we talked about that. He said, you have more right here than anybody else does.
Right.
And I'm going, geez. Well, because I'm old now. He's in his late 50s, early 60s, and he remembers, he was just a teenager or a young kid when I was first there, as a college student. As we mentioned before, I went to the University of Wisconsin La Crosse, and so he never forgot that. And that's one thing, folks. Dana's building relationships, and I'm big on relationships, and someday I'm going to write a book, Return on Relationships, ROR, because I have a relationship on that farm that 54 years that I can hunt that farm as a family member.
Yeah.
I have full access, and that's relationships, and that's the same thing that Dana's doing very well with her Hunting4Connections, is allowing people a platform that they can build their own relationships and move forward in life, whatever that means.
Exactly.
And hats off to you, because we haven't had this conversation, and the more in depth we get, I'm going, dang, this lady's doing something really, really worthwhile that's making a difference that you'll never see. It's just like the podcast. I've done over 650 podcasts, and people say, why do you keep grinding? And I go, well, when I enjoy it. Today I'm going, okay, I got to talk to this lady. I don't know her, and we're going to talk about something on Facebook. We're really not going to, we haven't even got into talking hunting. And I'm going, okay, do I run, do it? Art said, hey, Bruce. And I said, okay, Art, because Art and I have a relationship.
Yeah.
And, Art Helen owned the season TV, and Art, a professional photographer, great guy. And you can find him on, all over Instagram and Facebook. Anyway, so I said, okay, I'll do it. And then he called you, and then you called me. And so here we are, wondering, okay, where's this thing going to go? And here we are 20, 30, 40 minutes into the deal, and I'm going, dang, this lady's special. And you are. You truly are, and you've done something special in a time a lot of people would have thrown in the towel and quit and got pissed off and got bitter, yada, yada, yada. You know the drill. But you decided, no, I'm going to fight this through, and I'm going to build something so people have a place to come no matter what they're going through. And then the offshoot of this is, Hunting4Connections and your relationship site. And so, congratulations on a job well done.
Thank you, Bruce. It was, I can't take all the credit. My two kids, Justin and Jaden, they're 23 and 18. they really wanted to be a part of this too. And honestly, we're all entrepreneurial, spirited people by nature, but we sat down before we even decided to do this dating site, and we said, if we're going to do this, what do we want to come from it? And we actually wrote down goals. And when we got done and we read all of our goals to each other, it was really a beautiful moment, because everybody's goals were about giving back, and they were about giving back to the outdoors and giving back to really just 98% of them were about giving back to the outdoors. And we got done with looking at all of that, and we just knew in that moment, like, we needed to band together as a family and just create something really special. And that's what we did. And honestly, it took us 3 years to take a vision and create a reality of it. But it's such an important thing and such a valuable tidbit of advice to everybody is, to stay focused on your dreams and stay focused on your goals, because, 3 years ago, this was just an idea. It was something we thought, man, if we could do this and we could really work hard at it, we could really change a lot of people's lives for the better. And if we had just thought about it and not did anything about it, it would have still just been a really great idea. But the beauty of it is when you're focused on something that you believe in, and you really honestly come from a good place of where you want it to go, the God in the universe will move mountains to help you get there, but you really just have to stay focused on what you want to accomplish. And man, I'm telling you, it hasn't been easy. This was I still have a full-time job, and we all had to work nights and weekends, hustling hard for 3 years. But eventually it came together, and the right person, found us to help us, get to the point of launch. And, it's just been amazing how God can really move mountains for you when you are working for something good and positive. And so just a tidbit of advice for people that, have an idea or want to try something or do something to really believe in yourself and to get after it, because, good things happen. And honestly, like I said, God can move mountains, and he'll help you, and he helped us. And I just feel so grateful for that. And it's allowed me to meet some really amazing people along the way. And we're just going to keep pushing hard and keep, trying to, encourage people to sign up for the dating site, because of the fact that, there's a lot of dating sites out there, but this is a niche-based one that matches people based on their outdoor passions and hobbies. And so it's a unique platform that, connects people on a different platform, I guess, level. Like I said, it bases or matches people based on passions and hobbies. So it's pretty unique. And and not to mention, when people do sign up right now, they get 100 free tokens just to start talking to people and to find out if there's other people in their area yet. But they also get entered into different hunting and fishing weekend getaways and giveaways. So we've partnered with some amazing outfitters that we're able to give away some awesome hunting trips that are coming up. We've got Gary Harpool from Heartland Harpool's. I get it mixed up sometimes. It's Heartland's Harpool Lodge, and it's in Illinois. And we're going to be giving away a bow hunt this fall. We've also teamed up with Untamed Adventures. They are partnering with us. We're going to be giving away a whitetail shotgun hunt this fall as well. So we've just got a lot of really cool giveaways coming up. Borderline Guide Services, they're fishing charter out in Illinois as well. They're giving away a 2-person day fishing trip. So we've lined up some really awesome opportunities for people that are going to be involved in these giveaways. And all they have to do is sign up for the dating site and the dating and friending site just to get involved in the giveaway. So there's a lot of really awesome things to come that are coming up here shortly. So God is good. God is good.
Well, and one more time, let's wrap this up. How do people get a hold of you on Hunting4Connections, and then on Facebook, and then .com, and then just if they have questions for you personally, how do they do that?
Yep. So they can reach me by email at Dana K. So it's DANAK at hunting4connections.com, or they can contact me by phone or text at 715-299-1313.
Well, thank you for that. And yeah, I can't wait, to see it. We'll connect sometime this fall and have lunch or have breakfast or go sit, underneath the oaks for an afternoon sit or something. We'll figure it
Sounds
out.
wonderful. Absolutely. Well, I look forward to that. Thank you for the time to sit with me and get to know me and our story a little bit better. We value that and appreciate it. And so I look forward to meeting you this fall.